Hello, hello, hello. Oh yeah, no, you get that video out, genuinely. Like, order of operations, Admiral, like, I was there with you last night for that, and that needs to get out. You guys have been doing an incredible job. Tell Freddy I say hi. Gotta say, I genuinely kind of missed the soundtrack. I haven't listened to this YouTube video of BGM in like a minute. I might end up replacing it at some point with more downloaded stuff that I have available. But for now, it's been doing perfectly fine. So I don't know. Let's see. I finally don't have bad internet either. Hey, MS. My cardio streaming is back. I used to pray for times like these. Alright, hold on. Let me see if I can turn down my mic volume a little bit. I think I have it a bit too high at the moment. Gonna try and not like blow out your guys' eardrums. Well, yeah, no, I could tell. Here, hold up. Because this should be correct output. In my defense, there's been like 3 different OBS and or Elgato game capture and or Procreate updates since I last streamed, so I've had to do a decent amount of tinkering on back end to fix this. So here, let me see what I sound like. So here, let me see what. Oh my god, it's really bad. What the fuck? Oh my god, it's really bad. What the? Wait, no, now it's fine. Wait, no. Sorry if there's echo. I'm having to use the same thing. Sorry if there's echo. I'm having to use the same thing. Okay, so it's not like disastrous actually. Just let me know if it gets worse, okay? I'm gonna just like stay back here and not try to be like too loud, and hopefully that just kind of solves the problem. But yeah, no. Oh, also, I think it's just because my internet is dropping right now. Am I on the right one? I'm on 5G. If I swap Wi-Fi, does that stop my stream? So that works, but this doesn't? What if I'm like a genius? What if everything makes sense? What if everything makes sense? Okay, so it is still working. Did my stream even drop? I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm not gonna question it. Anyways. Yeah. So... Oh, I might be breaking up because of the stupid fan in my background. Hold on. Turning off the fan in my room. That actually might be it. There we go. So now it shouldn't be blowing into the mic anymore. That would make a lot of sense, actually. There we go. God, I miss this. Alright, it's 3 o'clock. Let's do this. Hey folks, how's it going? I'm gonna pull up the drawing section again. Actually, I need to edit a little bit of this. Because properties, we're not drawing that mon anymore. And the Pokedex tally should be at 46 now, if I'm not mistaken. So, actually, one sec. Just want to double check that I don't have like anything running in the background that I don't want to have on. On that, you can turn on orientation lock. I think that's fine. Okay. So. Okay, I'm just checking my audio again. Okay, I'm just checking my audio again. I'm still pretty quiet, but that's also like fine. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. It's whatever. This'll work. I already have 65 drop frames. My favorite. I love drop frames. It's the best thing ever. Okie dokie. Anyways, I'm going to lock my room and we're gonna start drawing. So, plan for today, as of right now, is I think I'm going to start working on the first starter Pokemon. I don't know whether I'm confident enough to do that. I have been out of practice for a solid year now, outside of making shit posts. So I really don't know whether I'm like actually capable of doing that quite yet, but that's the current plan. I'm going to open up the Google Sheet. Oh wow, I don't have like anything available on this. Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. Oh, interesting. Pokedex spreadsheet. Okay. So, I've already drawn all of those. I could do the Minior one that I want to do. Actually, Sandstorm form might be the move here. That might be the play. Okay. I know what I'm doing. Give me like 5 seconds. I'm going to be setting this up in the background really quickly. Because if I only have like one of these left that I have to do, it might make sense to just get it done. Saved photos. And then I think that's it. So I think I do that, and then this, and then insert a photo. I think I'm going to do this today. Going to work on the last one in a set of Pokemon that we have already started on, actually. Mostly because, like, actually 4 of the pure versions already existed in the Pokemon games, and I'm just adding a couple new variants. That's the plan. Yeah, I know, Dragon. How's it going? It's been a minute, huh? But plan for today is that we finally do the Sandstorm variant. I remembered my password. Yeah, exactly. Just take it. I have it somewhere down here. I want to see if I can pull it up, like pull up a screenshot of Acid Rain form, just so that I can keep track. Wow, it cannot have been this recent, was it? Oh my god, it might have been. What? No. Where is this? There's a tail. One of my friends asked me to draw that one. Where? What? Oh, here it is. Okay, see, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm so, like, intelligent all the time. I know everything that's going on at any time. I know exactly what I want to be doing. One moment. Okay. Sick. I want to do this. Just gonna get as, like, much reference material as I possibly can. I didn't even know that made a noise that I would be able to hear. I think I have that muted on this end, so you guys don't even know that I did that. Apparently you can hear the screenshot noise through Elgato Capture. Didn't know that. Why did Stream Elements ping it again? There was some weird bugs going on earlier, I'm not gonna lie. insert. Sorry. Almost done. So I just have like all of the reference material in the known universe for this. Okay, so I can now swap back. Wow. And new SSJ Daki album dropping today at You're Eating Good. Hey, I'm happy to be there for you. Yeah, suddenly it's like these last like couple of days have just been me kind of returning to doing things that I was supposed to be doing. Between like I've been streaming again. In the last like 3 months, I've been doing a lot of back end stuff for Carbos that I might show you guys later in the stream. Last night I was helping out Admiral with something that he's currently gone and working on, but might pull up later if I'm still streaming. He's been doing some pretty serious projects that he's roped me into, and I've been happy to oblige and help him out with that. It's been super cool. But let's go and do a little bit of drawing. Oh my god, this is so exciting. I actually haven't done this in ages, and I'm genuinely so hyped. So there's like this. I don't know how I'm gonna get, because like this circle shape for the eyes is so ungodly difficult to do, and I need to figure out a way to do that makes sense. So we're gonna see. I also need to figure out, so specifically right now, we are going to be doing the Sandstorm form of this Pokemon. So this means that, actually, how thick is this line? It's a little too thick. We're going to be specifically doing the Sandstorm form because Pokemon just doesn't have a Sandstorm form for some reason. I feel like I actually do want the line to be thicker. And since I'm messing around with weather a little bit more in the final end game project, whatever you might call it, I kind of want to do some cooler stuff with it. Oh my god, that was like perfect. Hello? Oh my god, Volt with the insane freehand. What was that? Jeez. That was ridiculous. That was actually insane. Like, what? Holy mackerel. Actually, I need to... That was insane. Dude, I've literally been like... I haven't worked on Sandstorm form, Castform for literally like even before I just started streaming again, because it's been since November of last year since I last streamed. I've been busy. I was so scared about doing that exact freehand for almost 2 years at this point, and I just straight up did it immediately. Like that was insane. That was ridiculous. What the heck? I also want to kind of fix up this line. I'm not a huge fan of this down here. Clean this up a little bit. And I just freehand that immediately. Like, what the fuck? Am I just like goated or something? Did I just not know? Was I not aware? Did I not know that I knew ball? Like, what is this? Oh, why is this white? Okay. There. So this. Simply better? I guess so. I mean, I didn't think it, like... This is something I've been worried about for so long. Like, I don't know. I feel like it should have been something that I had more of a problem with just now, but... So that's not as good of a... Is that a little bit better? No, I need to curve out more. Oh, I need to... There we go. Okay, a little too much. So I think it's like here, here. Okay. Come on. There we go. Come on. There? Is that big enough? I think so. I think I want to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna duplicate. Oh, hold up. So, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to copy and paste. Okay. I'm gonna hide that. How much stuff is that? Okay, that didn't actually remove that much. And then I'm gonna freehand. Wait, hold on. Can I? I can't. Oh, that's annoying. Hey, Max. Hey. Yeah, no, actually did it is extremely fair. Honestly, it's it's been a really long time. I literally checked in the Discord just before I sent that to see when the last time I pinged you guys for a stream was. It is currently November 14th, 2024. The last time I pinged for a stream was December 13th, 2024. Which, if I'm not mistaken by my math, means it has been 335 days since I last streamed. And I know I actually did miss my stream anniversary earlier this year in, I think, January 21st. But, yeah, no, not necessarily ideal, is what I would say. How's life? Life is going a lot better. I specifically did not stream last semester because I was extremely busy. And I'm honestly not entirely sure why I didn't stream over the summer, but it's just not something that happened. But I'm finally out of the weeds, is the honest answer. So I'm hoping to make this, once again, a little bit more common. It probably still won't have like as rigid of a schedule as I did when I first started out, where I was trying to do like 2 or 3 times a week. But also out of the torment nexus, exactly, or to the torture nexus in your words, Dragon. 335 days, not 55. But yeah, no, it doesn't feel like that either. I literally checked it and I was like, wait, I thought it had only been like 8 months maybe, and it's like, no, it's been like 11, over 11 months, which is ridiculous. So that felt a little bad. That There we go. Not in here. Hold on. Oh, that actually updates it over there too. I don't even have to transition this. Swag. Nice. Thank you. Oh my god. Thank you, OBS. Rare OBSW. Yeah, I know. I thought my last stream was gonna be like something like closer to like June-ish too, but it turns out I've just been out of it for that long. And honestly, like once I realized that, I would say like back in April. Uh, yeah, exactly. Last online 12 years ago. Um, Back in April, I realized I had been out of streaming for like 5 months or something, and I was kind of concerned about like whether I would be washed when it comes to drawing, like when I came back. And then, if you like, this is a Twitch stream, so you can't check. You'll be able to see it in the VOD, but literally, like, if you see like this squiggle here, hold on, let me make this. So this squiggle right here, really ugly circle I just drew. But that squiggle right there, I have been scared of doing for drawing the second Castform form that I would have to do since at least August of not this year, but last year. And then I just did it first try, just now, and it looks fantastic. Like, it's even better than the Acid Rain form version ended up looking. So I cannot complain. Enormous W. Castform's looking good right now. But yeah, I actually blinked the whole year. Genuinely, I can't even believe, like, dude, 2025 is going to end in a month and a half. There are 6 weeks left in the year. It is going to be 2026 in 6 weeks. What? Like, what the f- Genuinely? I don't get it. It feels bad. It feels weird. Time is passing. Not prepared for it. I'm gonna copy and paste this. And then I'm gonna use this to try and kind of scale. Here, I'm gonna erase this. Just because I want to get, like, the shape of the mouth right. I want to scale it properly. Hold on. Be there with you in a second, Dragon. That's pretty good, actually. Hold up. So if I do, like, this, I feel like I do want it to tilt a little bit more. Sorry. One moment. There. That's pretty good. And then I think I just draw underneath this, which is something I do know how to do. Okay. One moment. Oh, crap. Alright. Practice helps, but then there's random skill boosts out of nowhere after not doing something for months. Like, the art I've just posted is my first time drawing for something in, like, almost 5 months. Where'd you post that again? I thought I saw that, but I don't think I was paying enough attention. Hold up. I'm like maximum intelligence. I know where things are. Oh, you posted it in your server. Hold up. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, no, that looked sick as heck. Genuinely. Like, you crushed that. Here, God, I'm getting pinged a lot right now. For some reason, I've become very popular as soon as I click the go live button. If I click the go live button. But lurking? Alright. I mean, I'll be here. Thank you, Max. Appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes things just work out. Or sometimes yeah, sometimes you just have, like, a random moment of epiphany about, like, what you want to do, and then you just kind of go for it. And then either you'll be like, wow, I'm weirdly good at this, or you'll go, actually, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this exactly. It's been a while since I've been pretty philosophic, I'd say. But how do I'm trying to think about, like, I think, like, the move here is make, like, this Castform form almost, like, a little bit more directional. And it's like, I don't know whether this is the move, but it feels like kind of the right path. Oh, hold up. Being intelligent. this? I need to go from this side. There we go. It's like I kind of want to use Landorus as like reference. I think that's like a decent reference for. That doesn't help that much. Huh. Okay. So if I do that, and then I really like this. I'm a fan of this. This is good. I might do this, and then duplicate. Kind of want to see if I can bring this in a little bit more. But yeah, I will say along the lines of like sometimes coming back and then suddenly being better about something, I think there's been a couple of times in which I've like had like a month hiatus or like a couple of weeks hiatus from streaming, and I somewhat forget how I've like done my shading techniques for drawing Pokemon. And sometimes that's been a good thing because it's made me come up with like a new system or a new method that ends up working a lot better than I anticipate it to. Um, or can even just like uh, allow me to do new things when it comes to shading that I didn't think were like easily possible with like the methods I'd been previously using. Like, so there's been a couple of times in which like how I've used layering within Procreate for shading my drawings has changed over time. How I've decided what colors I actually shade with. I'm still not quite at using Alpha Lock yet, which is very funny, but I've just been doing all the shadows by hand, but it's something I somewhat know how to do. This is like I don't even know if this is like something I need to be putting here, because it's like, hold on, because if I just do that, then it looks a little weird, and I need to like kind of curve it back up this way, right? Don't I? That maybe? So then it like has the perception that it's coming up and around the center. But like even then it doesn't, like frame of reference is still lost a little bit. I think it's like I do this. I think the situation is I do this, and then I'm going to duplicate this. I'm gonna move this up. I'm going to then erase all this stuff underneath. Mental cleanse opens your mind to new ideas. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes that works out nicely. What is this that random thing that's sitting there? What layer is that from? Oh, I legit don't know what layer that's from. Okay, weird. Alright, here we go. Also, I was wrong. Docu album is next week. Did drop a single from the album though. Hey, I mean, we take what we can get, but yeah, that happens sometimes. Puts it a little bit closer to Thanksgiving. You might end up having a little bit more time to work with it or listen to it more accurately. I don't know why I said work with. Um, here. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay. I'm trying to like. Okay. So it looks like weirdly brawn or buff right now, which is really funny, but like it's got its arms crossed. But it'll make more sense when I actually like, I guess, make it more rocky. Um, 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 hmm, no, this is really hard. Geodude looking a little bit, not intentionally, but it'll make more sense eventually. I promise. There's the distort function. Actually, I need this to be more of a circle. This is not the most efficient way for me to do this, but it's whatever. Hard part 6. It like it does. Oh wait, what the heck? In the last like 12 months, I've actually gotten into like Kendrick Lamar, so like I wouldn't have known that if you asked me this last time I streamed, but you're kind of right, and that feels weird to think about. That feels really weird to think about. copy this and mirror it. Flip horizontal. Oh, not like that. How do I? Because that's how. There. And then it's gonna be like this. So that. And then is this something in which this might be something in which I could do this, which would be cool. Um, duplicate. And then if I do this. Here. 1 second. I will respond to you in a moment. I want to clean this up first. What? Oh, I know what I did. Okay. What kind of music do you listen to actually? I don't think I know your music taste well. That's fair. My music taste is very weird in comparison to most people. I'm actually really curious as to what my Spotify Wrapped is going to look like this year because I genuinely have no clue what it's going to look like. But um, my music taste is a decent amount of like classic rock, sort of 80s music. I listen to a ton of Creedence Clearwater Revival. I've listened to a decent amount of Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Bee Gees, King Harvest. What else? There's just so much stuff that I actually listen to. Guns N' Roses, Fleetwood Mac. Decent amount of the Police. I've been getting into the Who more often recently. That's like more of like my dad's sort of music taste growing up around then. Queen. Um, and then outside of that, big fan of stuff from early 2000s when I was growing up. Not anything super specific. Black Eyed Peas, Red Hot Chili Peppers is pretty good. Um, and then more recently, I've been getting into a lot more like, I guess, like cozier, regular music. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I've been listening to a decent amount of Backseat Lovers. I've been listening to a decent amount of MGMT. I've been listening to a lot of Hotel Ugly. I've been listening to, um, what else? Uh, listening to what other like bands are like adjacent to that. I'm literally forgetting. Not sure. I don't know. I've been listening to a decent amount of stuff over there, and then on like the personal, like, oh, I find these things interesting for like no, like not like I was discovered this like through people or anything. It's like just video game music in general. I'm shockingly passionate and extremely interested in how the actual music you listen to as you play a video game influences both your experience and how you remember the experience. I'm probably gonna write about an essay about it in one of my classes soon. But the big thing is, does that look weird? It looks a little weird. Is there a way in which I can make this look a little less weird? Um, but the big thing is, like, I have the weird tendency where I'll listen to a video game soundtrack and that will get me into the game rather than I play the game and that gets me into the video game soundtrack. So like for example, I got into Celeste and started playing Celeste like 3 months ago because I listened to the OST and I went, wow, this is really great. I want to listen to this. I want to play the game. I want to understand like the background, like the actual experience behind the music. Um, it's also happened to me for Terraria Calamity, which is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. DM Takuro deserves an unbelievable amount of credit for that. It is genuinely incredible the work he was able to pull off for that game. Um, Even if things have transpired since. Fuck, what else have I? And then, oh yeah, earlier this year, I started getting into Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, um, a little bit more rap than I usually listen to. I don't know why, just started going into it a bit more. Mac Miller. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. My music taste is like has a lot of stuff that's like really normal people stuff, and then like as soon as you get out of that range, I'm listening to like the most underground random crap you've ever heard in your entire life. Like yesterday, I was listening to a song called 2010 Toyota Corolla, which is essentially just Fruitiger Arrow if it had audio to it. Um, and it's a banger, but like doesn't mean that like saying, "Oh, let me put on 2010 Toyota Corolla while I'm sitting in a car with my friends" on Spotify is gonna like roll over that well usually in real life. Yeah, no, DM DeCro deserves so much credit, and it's pretty terrible what the Terraria Calamity community did to him before he actually published the music. But oh my god, I'm still so thankful for the actual product he produced. Jesus Christ. Uh, uh, Outcast of the Sulphurous Seas was my entry drug into that album. Um, and I haven't looked back since. Servants of the Scourge is maybe one of my top 20 tracks of all time. Alrighty. Need to hear what 2010 Toyota Corolla sounds like? I might be able to find it. It's possible. Let me see if I can pull it up on YouTube right now. Put it on in the background really quickly. Oh my god, it's here. Hold up, I'm putting this on. Y'all gotta bump this.
So I finally went to Allstate.
Oh, there's an ad. Hold up. Thank you, Allstate. I really need to get an ad blocker. This is what I was listening to yesterday. This is called 2010 Toyota Corolla. That is the name of the song. Oh my god, that doesn't work. Oh! It's so random. Okay. Back to the cat outliner. If I if I do fill brush. Oh, keep forgetting all the settings I have these on. It's been so long. FNAF reference? It's been so long. It's been so long. No. Since I last have heard that song. Lost to this monster. To the man behind the slaughter. Yeah, I know. It like a lot of this like music that I end up listening to just really sounds um like Wii Shop themes and stuff like that. It's very funny. Because sometimes I just need something to be listening to, like, while I'm going about my day, and it's just something I have on in the background. It's really funny. Anyways, no more 2010 Toyota Corolla. We're listening to regular music now, sorry. Vanishing 2010 Toyota Corolla. Have songs like this have whack titles? Yeah, no, for sure. There's so many of them out there. There's also 2009 Toyota Corolla, 2008 Toyota Corolla. I think there's 2003 Toyota Corolla. I don't remember all of them, but there are quite a great many Toyota Corollas. I will say though, what's the weirdest one that I probably have? You can check my Spotify playlist. There's always some really weird. B by Groovy Dominoes, and then Valentine B and Evil B and B2. There's a lot of songs like that as well. Just very random stuff. Here, let me see. I'm gonna check my chill playlist because I always have like some stuff that just like should not exist. On here. Let's see. Yeah, B by Groovy Dominoes 52. I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's Minecraft Aether soundtrack. Shocking banger. I'm not gonna lie. That deserves a lot more credit than it gets. Theme of Really Cool Bird you've probably heard before, but it's pretty funny. Let's see, what else is here? What other weird stuff do I have? What do you have here, Volt? I don't think I have anything like that insane. Much Wow So Space by Laura Sugihara, the vocalist in Never Forget from Deltarune, as well as the creator of the Plants vs. Zombies soundtrack. That's truly one of the songs of all time, Much Wow So Space. Hot Milk is a good example that people don't think of that much. I got a bunch of I got all the random crap. What else do I have? Lease is just a good song, and it's also not just, it's not a weird name. Honestly, Toby Fox does a pretty good job of having weirdly named songs. Yeah, Hot Milk is actually pretty popular nowadays, mostly because of the stupid Omni-Man ass memes. But yeah, no, otherwise it's a good song. My Thoughts Are Stored on a USB drive. That's pretty good. There's a bunch of stuff. But actually, speaking of DM Dokuro, for the Terraria Calamity soundtrack, like 4 months ago or something, I discovered this artist on YouTube named Inert. She's a mute VTuber, and she makes lo-fi covers of Terraria Calamity, Ultra Kill. It's actually such high quality. I have been losing my mind every single time she's like released a new song or whatever. It's been so good. I'm such an enormous fan. So that's been one really big part recently, I'd say. So yeah, fill brush, white. That actually wasn't that bad of a job. Never got a notification for this one. You were here earlier, weren't you? Am I stupid? I canceled it earlier because I was trying to improve my network connection and then it just kicked itself for some reason. But yeah, I'm still here. Don't worry about it. um, Here we go. Wait, there we go. That's pretty good. That's actually really good. Actually, I'm a really big fan of this at the moment. I'm not gonna lie, I cooked here a little bit. So I'm gonna erase this section. Oh, that's a much bigger eraser than I thought I was working with. Um, is this like I can't tell whether this is something where I have to be mirroring it on the other side or not. Like it's so close to like showing up on the other end of the eye that I don't know whether. Okay, that actually worked perfectly. I'm a genius. Nobody ever what the hell just happened? Yeah, you never got a notification when I restarted. Yeah, that's what I realized. It was a little buggy. I won't lie. Sorry about that. I'm still here. We actually might have lost. No, we didn't lose Max in the lurk after that. I think he's still around in the background somewhere. Um I think I do this and then I'm gonna do 40% opacity because that should be the same as I had over there. And then oh, that's a much smaller line than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do this. Okay. And then this, and then I'm gonna delete this, and then I'm gonna, oh crap, hold up. There we go, and then I'm gonna drop this to 60%. Then I'm going to erase so then it has that kind of clear look to it again. So I think that adds a bit. And then I need to rotate the ice cream cone a little. Not a lot, just a little. Actually, I might want to make it smaller. I mean, like, that's pretty good, right? Like, this isn't just a me thing at this point. Like, I'm kind of cooking right now. Like, that's pretty fucking good. Like, oh man. Oh, dude, I never thought it was gonna look this good. Like, genuinely. This looks so great. I'm actually, like, so happy with this. Oh, this is awesome. Yes. Look at him. He's so silly. He's so smiley. I love Castform. Castform's great. How long have I been streaming for? Like an hour? Because it probably reset and I lost like 15 minutes in there. We're doing fantastic. Actually, I can check by seeing how long the... Yeah, like an hour because we took a break to listen to 2010 Toyota Corolla. Uh, yeah. One of my favorite songs in my playlist is just called... I don't know how to pronounce that. Because it's, what's the name for that kind of like emoji? I forget. There's like a specific word for it, isn't it? Where like you do, like almost ASCII art to draw a face. I forget. Cow emoji? Okay, thank you. I'm not familiar enough. But yeah, no, those things are silly. Okay, so I think I can just combine all of these now? I feel comfortable doing this. Like that's pretty peak. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I may have cooked here. Alright, I'm gonna add a little bit of there. I think this is like too much detail up here in comparison to the rest of the drawing. But I also don't know exactly how I'm gonna make that seem more correct. So I think I have to just get rid of this and then make this a little bit more regular. Cow emojis are so fun. Am I pronouncing that right, by the way? But yeah, they're just silly guys, genuinely. Like, it's like, yeah, I just made like a silly guy in ASCII art and I'm using that to express an emotion. Like, W, good for you, you know? Right. Actually, I'll do this. There we go. And then I need to move this marginally to the left. Oh, crap. Ugh, sorry. Ugh. There. Bless you. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's a really good one. It's a really good little silly guy you got going there. Love our silly guys. Our silly guys on the stream. I'm trying to think, is there like a... I don't know. Maybe I just leave this like a little bit more clean at the top. I don't think I need to do a lot of this. I think I can get rid of this. I think I can keep this front swish thing that I had going on because it adds just a little bit more depth visually. But I don't think I need to make it like that overcomplicated. I don't think I need to like make it look more messy or rockier. I think I can just kind of leave it like that and say that's fine. I will cut this back a little though, just because it's a little. There we go. Much better. I'm back here. Just fix this a little. Okay. Okay. I would say that's pretty good, which means we can finally start doing shading. Yippee! Yippee! Yahoo! And swap to fill brush. Now I need to figure out exactly like what color would make the most sense here. Um, which is going to be really interesting because I really don't know exactly where I want to head with this. I want to go like for more of like a Tyranitar kind of color scheme, but I think it's going to be harder to find that exact color. I'm going to see if this works for now, but if not, we're probably going to have to mess around with it a bit more. Okay, so that's just like an orb. I kind of want that to be thing, and then I want, actually hold up, before I do that, I'm gonna save this color down here so I don't lose it. Type of guy to lose my colors. I kind of want to go like here-ish more for this layer, for down here. I don't want to do that, and then what do I do with like the actual color? Because like there's been like a couple of off colors, like you get kind of that purplish with the snow. I mean, like I kind of don't want it to be completely devoid of color and going into like grays. I want to have like a little bit more energy to it, and I think like orange is kind of wrong direction. I don't want to go like too much into green because that doesn't feel necessarily right. So I'm at a little bit of an impasse here. Um, I could still go purple, but it feels a bit off. I could stick with just like brown, but like that's just like not interesting. Maybe I go with like this, a little bit like dirtier, a little bit brighter. And I do this, maybe? Maybe that ends up being the play? I think this is a little too dark still. I might just like try color shifting this a bit, but it's like really not that bad. It's not that bad. What if I did this? That's here, I'm gonna save this down here just so I don't lose it. I'm gonna color shift slightly just to like more of this color. I think what I end up doing is I end up doing this. I think I need it to be more of a color grading. I need to take this and make it lighter. It needs to be a little lighter still. That's not bad. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I won't lie. So I think I might do that. All right, let's clean this up then. Oh wait, hold on. I'm not using 100% of my eraser. I did a good job staying within the lines on this one, so I can just kind of keep doing cleanup without having to worry about things that much. Okay. Then if I get done with this in like the next like 30 minutes, I might start doing a little bit of brainstorming for the first starter Pokemon, since that's something I kind of wanted to do going into this, and I now have the cajones after doing so well on freaking Castform Sandstorm, which I thought was going to be like one of the worst experiences of my life trying to make work. So, oh, spot. There we go. And then this, and then I'm going to clean this up. It's going to be a little bit of a harder cleanup, but that's all right. Oh, crap. Hold up. There we go. Man, I kind of missed doing this. I'm happy I decided to pick it back up again today. Thank you, Admiral, for the reminder. Also, in the Discord server. Also, I was kind of considering doing it again, but you guys actually messaging me about it is what drove me over the edge to actually commit this week to doing it. And I'm happy I did, because holy crap, have I produced a product already. Wow. Wow. Also, this thing might be good. I don't think so, because Castform has like terrible stats, but 100% accurate stab rock type weather ball sounds like it would hurt a lot. Is the one thing I'm concerned about. It sounds like if Ivy Cudgel was just on a Mon, that kind of sucked. So we'll see, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. Little guys. I've actually already done this guy's stat block. That's one of the things I've actually been doing recently. For those who are interested, this project, at some point down the road, I hope, would actually become like a full-blown fan game, partially because I actually work on it, potentially because people want to help me out with it, but because of that, I've been looking into actually like balancing some of these Pokemon, getting a sense of like what their abilities and movesets will be like, and I've already done all of Castform's movesets for the first subregion of Carbos. So this guy, after I finish drawing him right now, is actually like a complete product. I can show you its learn set, I can show you its move pool, I can show you what it learns by TM, like I can do all of that. It's all in my Obsidian vault on my laptop now, so it's very, very cool. Very cool and exciting stuff going on. Well, I really went over the line here. This is such a good drawing. It's like in such an active pose, and it looks so good. I'm so happy with this, genuinely. This makes me so fucking happy right now. This is turning out great so far. And wow, I did a horrible job coloring in the lines over here. Wow. Like, I'd rather overshoot and clean up, and even then, like, I did a bad job with it. It's kind of crazy. Or did I not? Oh, whoops. Lost track over here. Guess that. And then this. done. There's going to be no overlap there because it's on a lower layer. Okay, and then I can go back here. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Hold up. Oh, wrong color. There we go. This. Oh, I've only been live for like, yeah, hour and a bit. That's wild. Actually, I'm kind of curious what happens if I swap these layers. Okay, good. I need to clean this up. Because if I do actually plan on making this darker color a little bit see-through through the bottom, I need to know where the overlap is. Okay, and here, then that gap, and then I need to do a ton of cleanup over the top. Oh my god, okay. That's fine. Okay. So that's been cleaned up, and now I can do this, which is mostly just clean up the edges, and then I'm going to half shade into the actual structure by just erasing to like 60% or something. Okay, I'm actually not going to erase into it then, because alrighty. Then I don't know how I'm going to clean up the top of this, but that is a future me problem. Okay. Thank you, Dragon. I'm guessing you're heading out. Have a good day. Thanks for turning up. Especially with no warning. On a random Friday afternoon. You have a good day. Okay, and then I don't know exactly how I want to be erasing this edge, but I don't want it to like be obvious in the way I'm doing it. So I want to like do this, or no, I want to do this so I can get like a slightly smoother edge off of this. Like it's kind of weird. Oh, forgot my wrist can grab that. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done all of this. It's nice though. It's nice being back. Oh, whoops. Oh. There we go. And I need to... And then I think I'm gonna do extremely large, and then I'm gonna do like this. And then I think I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna try and clean off that edge, make it a little bit less clean. How do I do this? Like trying to... Oh, is there a smudging tool still? Hold up, where's Smudger? I forgot about the smudging tool. One moment. Smudger. Perfect. Smudging tool! I forgot about smudging tool. W smudging tool. Ugh. Alright. And then I'm going to duplicate this, just in case I don't like what I end up doing with it right now. And then I'm going to erase let's say 60%. Should be the same number as last time. And then it's not bad. I would say I want it to be a little bit more visible, so I'm going to drop to 50. Oh crap, hold on. It's not bad. Duplicate. Kind of want to. Let's see what happens if I do that again. So then I think I did that, and then I think I grab the smudger again, and then I just do some like low opacity, big size smudges. I don't know if this is like the right move. There. Whoa. Hello. Alrighty. So I've done those colors, I've done those colors. I've pretty much done everything outside of shading already. Which is kind of wild. Oh shit. let's do... I want to do this one first, which means I need to use this color for shading. So start with soft textured, see how that goes. I don't, or does this look, or is it just that this looks weird? I think I'm like accidentally giving this thing a yarmulke. Hold on. Is there a way in which I can like make the lighting look a little bit more regular on this? Because it just feels a little odd at the moment. I think if I do like more minimal, if I do that, I think that might be the move more. Just don't want to like come in a little bit, but just by making it less clear of a shade, it might do a better job. Yeah, I think that does. I think that helps. Okay, clean up. I think I want to do more of like that. Oh, whoops. There we go. That's actually a lot better. It's hard to get like where I wanted the shading to show up to work properly, just because it felt a little off somehow. But there we go. That's much better. So that, and then I think that's it for that color actually, which is kind of crazy. I need to move these things. Okay, I think I can do like a little. I don't think I need to do a lot, and I don't think I want to do a lot for this, but Paleontology, hell yeah. Hey, pleasure having you drop by. Lucas? Is that correct? Just want to make sure that I'm speaking your username properly. Yeah, it's going well. I Yeah, hi. I'm Voltaic Glint. I stream regularly, except when I don't. This is actually my first time streaming in a solid year. I've been extremely busy, but I'm finally back onto it. I've been I've been slowly working over the course of like the last 2.5 years towards making a Fakemon region that is based around paleontology. So that is the focus at the moment. I'm currently working on a unique Castform form for Sandstorms, since that just doesn't exist in the base game, and because I am adding my own weather condition that just um, that already has its own Castform form. So I want to be call consistent. Are you just interested in paleontology, or do you want to study it? Considering I'm currently in college studying geology and biology, I would make the guess that I'm probably going to end up studying it. But yes, it is just also a hobby of mine at the same time. Like, when I went to college initially, I thought that, or when I was applying to colleges, I thought that I was going to end up being like a physics major of some kind, like go into engineering or something like that. But I ended up realizing that I was having way more fun just like watching PBS eons and researching like fossils on my own than I was actually in my physics classes, so I just decided to full commit as like a career, since I think I'll have more time. I'll have more fun doing what I enjoy doing, you know? Favorite dinosaur? That's a hard question. Trying to think. Favorite dino? I'm usually more of like an Ediacaran, like Paleozoic focused person when it comes to the fossil record, but favorite dinosaur is probably between Dinocyrus and Borealopelta. I just love that Borealopelta specimen, and Dinocyrus is genuinely just such an interesting fossil. Next year gonna be crazy for paleontology if everything turns out perfect, lol. What specifically? What's going on with that? I haven't I've been out of the loop a little bit when I've been working on my classes at the moment, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on to it. A friend of mine is also into it. Oh, good for you. That's awesome. How are they doing? Okay, hold on 1 second. I just need to make sure that I'm actually like doing work while I'm talking to you. Wouldn't be great if I was like doing my job without doing my job, sort of deal. That is way too bright. Oh my god. Okay, that's much better. One sec. One moment. I'll be back with you in a sec, Lucas. I'm trying to do drawing. Drawing my beloved. Drawing my beloved. And then there. Okay. He's also streaming on Twitch. I think he's studying it or something, and also digs up Paleozoic fossils. Damn, that's crazy. I think I've dug up a couple of Paleozoic fossils at this point. The college that I go to has a lot of field trips surrounding the geology department with it. So I've been to a couple of like road cuts and stuff that are like, I think like Ordovician to kind of Devonian age, and I've been able to find some pretty cool stuff in there. There's this one place that was like a Permian Badlands deposit, so it's like that really like bright red kind of soil that you get in mesas and like Minecraft, for example. And I was able to find like a foot-long fern fossil, just like a fern frond, and it's just so cool that that's like something I've done, something I've found, as part of my studies so far. It's just really, really sick. I need to up my eraser size. Yeah, hold on. I got your messages in a sec, Lucas. I just need to order of operations this properly. No, not that one. I want to clear here. There we go. that, and then I can do this, and then does that, okay, and then I can, there we go. Okay, well done me. Okay, there's some nicknames for the things that are coming. We're gonna get a new Giga Study, I think. Dragon Cedar Mountain, Horned Scimitar, Spinosaurus, Spinus, to name a few. Awesome things he found was a fossil of a 20-foot Goodricthus. Jeez. Oh. Kaibobvenator or something? Goodricthus would be a fish, right? Cedar Mountain, that puts him, what, like western US, I'm guessing? Like Rocky Mountains-ish area, just next to the, well, I'm assuming this is going to be Cretaceous deposits, but that's really dope. Yeah, no, I haven't been as tapped into papers as I probably should have been as of more recently. And like the actual developments that are going on. Kaibobvenator is a 6-meter shark. Oh, interesting. For some reason I thought, oh wait, hold up. For some reason I thought with a name like that it would end up being something more like a, hold up. Like, I always see the word venator and then I always, associate it with dinosaurs, for some reason. But I'm probably wrong to do that. There we go. Much better. Is that right? That looks pretty good. My stream was lagging, I didn't hear you. Oh, it could have been my internet too. But whenever I think of like venator at the end of species name, for some reason I always just associate it with dinosaurs. There's like, I'm forgetting which one I'm thinking of, but there's like some Maniraptoran out there, I think, that has venator as its as like its suffix. Hold on. Neovenator mater? Oh my god. Afrovenator, Microvenator, Neovenator. There's a bunch of them actually. Ichthyovenator. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't associate it with sharks immediately. Giant Nidovenadorids, reaching the size of Acro, as in Acrocanthosaurus. Just checking. Coexisted with Utahraptor. Oh, so they are Rocky Mountain. Wait, yes. So this is Cretaceous post, this is a Cretaceous post Western Interior Seaway environment. And then Kaibobvenator, my bad. I'm guessing is a shark and whatever was left during that. So like this is what, later Cretaceous stuff? I'm like just trying to like sense out, trying to make sure that I know what I'm talking about before I commit to saying things. Here, hold up. This and then how does this look when I use it? That's pretty good actually. Minute. Yeah. My friend isn't from the Rocky Mountains, so that makes sense. I mean, it's actually pretty astonishing the amount of travel that you'll end up that most paleontologists end up doing. Um, like for example, there was a point in my college career in which, depending on how grant funding would have gone, that I might have ended up flying down to Bolivia for like a month and a half, like Bolivia or like Patagonia, to go and look at like mammal fossils, which is pretty interesting. Cabivinator is from Paleozoic. Oh, interesting. Which period then? Is it just like vertical? So were they getting this from like all the same formation, and it's just like different eras vertically, or did they find these at different locations then? You may have found the El Molino Megaraptoridae then? Megaraptoridae. Hold up, Megaraptoridae. Megaraptora, clay carnivorous theropod dinosaurs noted for large claws. So this is Cretaceous. I probably wouldn't specifically because I was going to be looking at Cenozoic mammals, so like Miocene more so. But yeah, okay, Middle Permian. Okay, that's actually not out of this world. You get a decent amount of stuff in the Permian, and I guess that makes sense. Giant Megaraptor size of a T-Rex from Bolivia. Damn. With actual claws instead of just being a Tyrannosaurid. That's kind of wild, actually. God, I need to like get caught up again. I haven't. I need to like get back on the YouTube grind set, watch more Benji Thomas stuff like that. I used to be as tapped in as you are right now, but I've been off the wayside a little bit more recently. Let that side of me fall off to the wayside as I've been dealing with college classes. To be fair, I've let this off to the wayside for a while, so can't really be judging myself too hard. Okay, so that. There we go. Yeah, if you Google it, you see a pic of it. He got the arm training. What exactly do you mean of that? El Molino Megaraptor. I might pull up an image on screen if I can find it. Holy crap. Vasiliasaurus Maximus? Oh, it's Maastrichtian, so it's like really just at the end. It's he trained arms long. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that. Oh, is it also? No, it's three-fingered. I was about to say that wouldn't make any sense if it was. Um, yeah, that's wild actually. Bolivia, Upper Late Cretaceous, Maastrichtian. Damn. Okay, for the record, just for people who, can't actually see my screen right now, which is everybody. I'm actually gonna, I can actually just put this on the stream right now. Here, hold up. This, and then drawing, view, hold up, properties, browse, this, open, okay, can I, oh, it's twisted, here, I'm gonna, so this is currently what we're looking at right now. That thing is actually enormous. It's really like disconcerting seeing a dinosaur with that big of claws, because like the last time we did is probably what, Dinochirus, which is which is our herbivore, so we don't have to like think about it in a more offensive way, but like, god damn, that thing is huge. That's wild. I mean, these are projections based off what? Specifically, arm fossils, or... And then they just scaled it up based off the relative size of other megaloraptorans, or how exactly did they do it for that study? Just out of curiosity. It's Wursel. It's from Footprints. Oh, okay. Well, Okay, that makes a lot of sense as to why I haven't heard about this then. Ichnofossils don't get as much attention. Um, but yeah, no, that's yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a projection then. It happens. Some of our, I guess, quote unquote, best studied fossils have been based off of like size projections and stuff like that, so I can't really judge. Good example is Dunkleosteus. But yeah, that's pretty silly. Big dinosaur if that's actually the case though, we'll say. Okay, so this. There. Okay, and then this and then. Okay. There. There we go. I mean, we likely haven't even discovered 1% of all dinosaur species, so a lot of stuff is possible. No, 100%. Like, the statistics on actually producing a fossil that A, we've found, and B, is even accessible or hasn't been destroyed since it was deposed is like ridiculous. Like, first of all, you have to have the right environment so the fossil can even survive to begin with after, so it just doesn't get destroyed by like microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, whatever. And then you have to actually get that rock to not go down deep enough into the earth so that it doesn't get metamorphosed into another rock that would make it completely indistinguishable. And then you need to actually have it uplift in a place that is reasonably accessible to paleontologists so then we can actually find it. And it has to be high enough quality that we can actually get good data from it, which is like just so ridiculous to be asking people for. But it really makes every single genuinely perfect find that much more amazing. Um, I got a hyper realistic map of South America during the Maastrichtian, and even there you can imagine how diverse the dinosaurs would have been. Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like if you do, hey Admiral, if you do paleoecological reconstruction, which is something I actually almost did my capstone on, you can like generally figure out exactly what an environment was like given where the formation is actually present on the continent based off of like ocean currents, isotope data. You can figure it out based off of the type of teeth that you find there. You could figure it out based off of phytolith and present plant species, the type of dirt, the type of minerals in the dirt, the elevation, which you can find out with argon dating. Like, there's so much stuff that you can kind of ascertain already to figure out different like paleo environments that the diversity that must have been back that must have existed back then like must have been insane, but it also must have been like pretty similar to now, and the fact that we're only finding like specific species that only fit specific environments due to how fossils are forced to form is extremely limiting on our complete understanding of what the ancient past and animals might have looked like. And that's just for dinosaurs. That's just us talking about dinosaurs. Yeah. Earth lore? Yeah, no. This is Lucas. He just pulled up for the first time. We have been yapping our heads off so far about uh, fossils, specifically South America and South American Mesozoic animals, so dinosaurs, but South America. Um, Yapping our heads off. But it's fun. I like doing that. It's always a treat. So I've done that. Can't really. Okay. That worked a lot better than I thought it would. Um, then I need... did I save this color already? I have not. I should. And I'm gonna take a slightly darker shade of this. And then I'm gonna use it to shade the bottom of this. Wow, that does not turn up at all. I need to actually darken this a little bit more. Sorry. There we go. That's a little bit better. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. 1 second, I'll be back with you two in a sec. I'm busy doing my job. I gotta draw the Pokemon. Gotta draw the Castform. Alright. So, yeah, that's only dinosaur. New person in a Volt stream? Impossible. Yeah, I mean, not really, but yeah. If you want, I can drop a link to the hyper-realistic map here on or Discord if you want, if you have it. Yeah, hold on. You should be able to add Discord, or this should work. Hold up. Not work? Do you see that Stream Elements tab? If not, you can post to there. But yeah, that works. Yeah, no, it is a thing. I actually have set up Nightbot. I just don't think I have it set up as my stream name. How do I edit that from here, actually? I think that's something I can edit within stream, Twitch. No, I think it just sets it up as it did last time. Here, let me see if I can... Yeah, no, it's in my title. There's Discord, Insta, YouTube, and Tumblr. You can ping all of those. They all work. Or at least they all should work. Fingers crossed they all work. Yeah, no, I'm an advanced streamer. I have chat commands. Really, really impressive stuff going on here. Okay, this. I think I need to, like, 50% down on this. It's gonna be a bit weird to do through it, but I think that's how I do this. I think here, kind of need to clear this a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna add just a little there. Oh wait, that's okay. That is a lot more than I actually meant to add here. Hold up. Hold on, I'm back. Send it to you per DM. That works. It takes them all to load because the resolution is like 20K or something. Jesus. $20,000. Hold on, I need to see this. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Give me a second. Can't scan this file for viruses. Is too large for Google to scan for viruses. Holy mackerel, dog. That's how big of a file this is. I have never seen that before. Jesus. Download anyways. I somewhat trust you. I probably should. 128 megabytes? Cheat. What are you feeding this map? Like... Yeah, Patagonia used to look so much different. It's actually kind of crazy. Here, hold up. Can zoom into every lake hole. Yeah, I can guess as much. 128 megabyte fucking image. That's an image. That's wild. Like, damn. I thought you could access this in browser already. Yes. But if I want to put it up on stream, I need to download it. Also, I think it's just cool, so I'd like to have it if that's okay. Guess that. Kind of wanted to just a little bit here. Not a lot, not a lot, not a lot, but just a little. Oh, that's far too small. Oh, by the way, Admiral, how did the video go? Is it out right now? Or is Freddy still crashing out? Both of which would be extremely valid. Up. Okay. There we go. Need to whittle that down a lot more. Okay, there we go. Much better. Alright, yeah, of course, man, it's free to use. Thanks. By the way, do you like to use feet or meters more? In, like, regular life, or specifically when, like, measuring, like, sediment layers? Kind of want to go back one here. Which layer is it? This? No, not this. This one. I want to just kind of here. Damn, that's there we go. Where did I do that? Oh, I did do it on this layer. Okay, cool. Alright, back. Paleontology. Metric is infinitely better for everything but temperature. And sorry, I got delayed. That's all good. Don't even sweat it. I don't know if I've done that many measurements so far. I've done a decent amount of field work, but not anything like specifically measuring. In my case, what I'd probably be measuring most is just like vertical layering. I would say meters is probably better. I think centimeter is a much better unit on small scale for measuring sediment than inches are. And it's just a lot more scalable, especially when you're going to start looking at much smaller things like potentially microfossils and stuff like that. So I would say my answer is probably metric. In real life, I think feet is pretty useful. um, as like a measurement system, but or not as a measurement system. Well, yeah, as a measurement system. Sorry. But that doesn't mean that I don't think that um, meters is better in this case, which I think is this case. Okay, so dang, this thing turned out good. What the hell? Who's this guy here? Who's this man running this stream? Where has he been for like a year and a half? God damn. This thing turned out great. This is like what I kind of wanted Acid Rainform to look like, except I didn't do as well on the 3D side of things. That's so sick. Dropped frames. Ah, oh, crap, it's rising. What happens? The internet can only be so good for so long. God damn. This thing turned out great. Yeah, I know, my stream delay is a solid, like, almost 20 seconds now. That's what dropped frames will do to you. Drop a few thousand frames and then suddenly you're a solid 30 seconds behind everyone else. It's unfortunate it happens. I'm used to it at this point. But yeah, that's probably it for at least drawing Castform, but I'm still down to... Is the download already finished? I actually haven't checked. That's a good point. I'm still gonna be sticking around. I still set myself up to be able to stream for like another hour or something, but 7 minutes ago it was done. God, that is wild. Yeah, let me see if I can pull this up on stream properly. I have no idea if it's gonna work because it is an absolutely monstrous file, but oh, it lagged OBS. Oh, it's lagging OBS. Oh god. Okay, so I don't think I can show it on stream, only because it immediately rendered itself at pixel size. And I'm pretty sure this thing is like 20K by 20K. Which means it's approximately, I would guess, 15 times larger than my preview screen. Give me a second. I'm trying to make this a little bit smaller so that I can show it. So Admiral, we're talking about an image file that is 128 megabytes. Like, I'm just laughing here. It's not showing up on my mic, but it's, oh man, I am trying right now. Don't worry, Lucas. It's just gonna take a second for me to like keep making this corner smaller until like it's actually something that's visible. And to be honest, it's like also just not showing up. Like, yes, I've like made it smaller, but it's not, it hasn't loaded its pixels yet, which is extremely interesting. So it should be on screen right now, but it's not, which bodes really well. Oh, sorry. There. This is it. So I can't even tell how like clean this imagery is just because I'm so zoomed out looking at it via OBS, but this thing is like legit enormous. Like, what is that? Yeah, I am zooming in a lot. I'm gonna zoom in onto the seaway on my left. Like, this is insane. How do you just have this, by the way? Where did you find this? Just out of curiosity, like what detail? Ridiculous. Carl August W, the Giga Chad. My largest WAV was 80 megabytes. Was that for the GeoJSON? Or for something else? But 80 megabytes is also huge. This thing is like 128 to 130. This thing is absolutely enormous. I'm zooming back out again just because I want to like be able to do something. College student that makes hyper-realistic maps of Earth's history usually charges a bit of money, but he posted it for free. Damn. That's really sick, actually. It kind of reminds me, like, there's that one guy who does, like, the tectonic recreation animations on YouTube of, like, all of Earth's history. You know what I'm talking about? It kind of reminds me of that, except I feel like this is somehow even more time-intensive, which I didn't think was possible. But yeah, that is insane. Yeah, Christopher Scotese. Yeah. Scotese. I actually don't know how to pronounce his last name, but yeah. Those videos are fantastic. I'm such an enormous fan of those. Rangelia hypothesis? I'm not familiar with that. Give me a sec. Rangelia hypothesis refers to the scientific theory that a large geological unit now in western North America was originally an oceanic plateau that originated in the equatorial ocean and was later transported and accreted to the continent. So this would be Panthalassan Ocean, okay. Large igneous province that formed as an oceanic plateau and organic environment. Where would this be? Hold on. This would be... Oh, it's just like Alaska kind of area, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, this is actually really bad. There we go. That actually has like Rangelia Tirane. So this is like everything from like Vancouver up to Juneau, pretty much, is what you're saying. Interesting. So that used to be Panthalassan Ocean is the hypothesis. You can see El Molino on this map too. Hold on, actually. I can't. It's too big of a file. Give me a second. 1 sec. El Molino is Bolivia. Oh my god, this thing does have like one. Holy pixels. Where is it listed? Like 5? That's like not even Bolivia at that point. I'm having a hard time finding it. Okay. Regardless, what, the El Molino is an island the size of Madagascar? Wait, what? Hold on. I'm losing it now. Wait, what the fuck is happening? 1 minute. Let me open this again. I just want to get a good look, see if I can find it for myself, and then I'll put it up on screen. So this is what? Said it's based in... Is it like this thing down here? Is it like number 9 on this? La Colonia Formation? It's like in Patagonia, though. No, Rangelia. Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry. I lost track of the plot. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Because what? Oceanic Plateau, you'd have large igneous province. It pretty much is just a hot spot that rises out of the ocean direct. Gotta go for a bit again, have fun with whatever this is. That's fair. See you in a bit, Admiral. El Molino is number 5 on this map. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, cool. But yeah, its size of Madagascar is pretty significant. And just to have it, accrete and become Vancouver Island, can also lead to the Carnian Pluvial event? Wait, why? Wait, I'm actually so curious now. So, for people who don't know, because we're saying a lot of big words right now, the Carnian Pluvial event was a time during the Carboniferous period, which is like just before the Permian, just after the Devonian, so before Dimetrodon, but after Dunkleosteus. In which it essentially just... No, wait, no. Carnian pluvial event was Triassic. Sorry, Triassic period. So like just as dinosaurs started showing up, Carnian pluvial event was a point at the end of the Triassic period where it just rained for 1,000,000 years straight, pretty much, like almost consistent monsooning for like 1,000,000 years, which is kind of ridiculous. So yeah, no, Lucas is giving us context right now. And then early dinosaurs might have migrated there and evolved a whole new clade. That makes sense. I might ask about more about which specific clades in a little bit, but I'm gonna let you get through your piece in a second here first. Let me close this. Oh, I accidentally minimized OBS. I would like to have OBS open. Here, I'm gonna a whole new clade we don't actually know. Oh, like they could have been isolated, and because of that they could have split off, but we don't have any actual fossil record from over there, so we can't actually know whether that happened or not. Is that what you're on about? So like you're talking about like oh, I should know this. I did a project on this back in junior year of high school. Hold up. It's a it's two half of it. There's insular dwarfism and there's insular gigantism, and they're part of a larger rule. Insular dwarfism, gigantism rule. It's Foster's rule. Yeah, you're talking about Foster's rule right now. Yeah, it was isolated for like 110 million years. Yeah, I was gonna say that is like Madagascar, Australia level. That's actually worse than Madagascar, Australia level. That's an insane amount of time. But like if it was Rangelia, like what? You're saying that this initially formed in the middle of the Panthalassian Ocean as essentially just volcanoes coming off the bottom of the seafloor? That's making the initial assumption that you're having dinosaurs be able to get there in the first place, right? Well, yeah, of course they would have gone through their own extinction events there. There probably could have been like a really bad monsoon that could have been a major extinction event on the island, to be honest. But still, it's always crazy to think about more isolated or I guess condensed evolution. Like the modern Galapagos Islands are a pretty good example of that, but like this is essentially that on the scale that is 1,000 times longer, which is wild. It was connected through island change to West Gondwana like 210 million years ago or 220 million years ago. Okay, that makes more sense. So they could do like island hopping, kind of like in Indonesia. That would make sense. That tracks. That would assume that dinosaurs can swim, which, we don't know, but is probably likely because what they had they had like the more hollow bones, so they were probably actually better buoyant than most animals are, which is funny to think about. That's so interesting. I wonder if they called it Rangelia because it reminds them of the Wrangel Island mammoths. That's kind of my thought. That or it's named after the same dude, which I doubt. Here, I'm gonna put this off to the side a little bit more. Move this extremely high def map we just happen to have here into a place that's like a little less visible. Damn. That's crazy. Oh. I should probably let people wave in the server. I'm gonna do that in a bit. a job to do. 1 second. This. I don't know anything about this. Okay, and then I just got pinged. Okay, whatever. Not a big deal. We're good. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to do anything for a separate project that's going on right now. But yeah. It's actually so sick. So Rangelia, right? W-R-A-N-G. Oh, there we go. See, I thought you were typing. I just wasn't sure. My delay is so bad at this point that I can't tell. 233 million years forming to 220 to 210 million years sets of island chains, so archipelagos. 170 million years ago, flooding extinction event. So like what, 70% of it just got covered. Then it was at its biggest landmass around 150 million years ago, which is like between that flooding and that time, that's like Stegosaurus age for people who are curious. Then 130 million years ago, it split into two North and South islands. 120 million years ago, Southern island sinks into the ocean. Yeah, that happens sometimes. And then it accretes onto North America. That makes sense. So it just kind of got eaten as Pangea expanded afterwards. Interesting. So wait, is it dumb to say, just because of like based off it's like here, I'm gonna put up an image on the stream just because I wanna try and explain something. So save image as. Actually, no, that wouldn't make sense. It's an interesting idea that I just had, but it wouldn't make sense. But I can still teach people stuff, so I'm gonna bring it up anyways. Rouse, Rangelia. So this. Okay. So this time around here. Hold on. Pulling it up for the stream. So that yellow bit is, according to Lucas, is believed to have been an ocean plateau that became an island chain, essentially. That accreted, or essentially as the Pacific Ocean subducted underneath the North American plate, it got pushed up against the North American plate and became part of the continent. So that would be that yellow spot in the middle there. And that initial middle spot was formed by something like a hotspot. So the Hawaiian island chains, for example, are made by the same process as what we're looking at right here would have been, except this case would have been a lot more severe. There would have been a lot more actual volcanic activity. It would have been more like the Siberian traps in Siberia that blew up during the Permian period and caused the Permian extinction, or the Deccan traps in southern India. That is another large igneous province, or LIP, that blew up towards the end of the Cretaceous and might also be responsible for the extinction just as much as the asteroid was. You can see it on the Prehistoric Live Map. Go on Prehistoric Live Map website from Scotties. I am not familiar with this website. Hold up. I am not a knower of things, apparently. I'm being flexed on. Oh yeah, it's right there. So, kind of, here, hold on. I'm going to take a screenshot for stream. So, okay. And then this, I'm going to change this to be, so the idea is that there's that little bit sticking up off of the United States, like the US is overlapped on the map. You can kind of see where it is. That little bit that's attached on the top left that's kind of poking out, that would be it. It has several theories, actually. That makes sense. The paleontologists can never agree on anything. Well, actually, this is probably more of a geology question than a paleontology question, to be honest, but still. Nah, make that a little bit smaller. Is the one in Panthalassa? Oh, what, do you mean it's the one off the coast here, as opposed to the thing that's attached, or? There's something off the coast here that you can kind of see as well. There you go. Yeah, okay, so it's the one off the coast. I was wrong. My point was made, but I was wrong. There, that one. But yeah, that's really interesting. So that just accreted onto the United States is the thought process. You can change the time, by the way. Yeah, I know. I just would have to like, um, I'd have to take multiple screenshots to do that. Thank you for giving me this link, though. That's actually really sick. Let me see if I can find, if I go back to like 370 million years ago, do I get to see Russia exploding? 370 is too far. Hold on. I meant 340. Okay. So United States over here. That's that, and then there's Russia. 300 million years ago. This is it is really hard. Late Carboniferous. Okay, sorry, I'm so out of it. Permian period. Choose 60. Late Permian. There we go. So there's the Appalachians. Hold up. I'm pulling this up. I know where this is. Trust me. So 240. So I'm just gonna pull up the Siberian traps for people's reference for when I'm talking about what an LIP is, or large igneous province. So specifically this screenshot, can I rotate this? Okay. So this is modern day Europe. You can kind of see like Scandinavia at the top left here. The idea is that all that brown stuff at the top right, that's like a little bit brown, all of that exploded. All of it. That's like the center of modern Russia. All of it exploded. Just the whole thing exploded. And that's what caused the Permian extinction. So something like that happened underwater and formed Rangelia, is what we're talking about right now. It's the same process and it's the same idea behind how Hawaii formed, but it's just at a significantly larger scale. You have a bunch of hot material from the outer core fizzling up through the mantle and as a mantle plume, hitting the crust, burning through it, and causing a ton of volcanic activity at a place that isn't at a tectonic boundary. Except it's just a really, really big one. Yeah. Try to find a better one. Damn. Yeah, but it wasn't enough to extinct everything, but it was enough for... Yeah, no, exactly. Like, it's insane how resilient multicellular life has been so far. Because it genuinely was the perfect extinction event. Like, the light was removed because there was just constant volcanism for like 300,000 years over an extremely large area on the Earth's surface. That increase in hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increased overall temperatures. Increased lowered global oxygen while dropping temperatures due to the ash in the actual atmosphere, preventing light from getting in, lowering the overall global temperature. Meanwhile, the hydrogen sulfide in the air allowed large blooms of algae to grow in the oceans, which caused an increased acidic environment, blocked off whatever sunlight was left for all the photosynthesizers, and released more toxic materials that would kill everything else. On top of that, that acidification and increased heating of the ocean as a result would also release methane stored as ice in the oceans, which increased global warming even worse. So there was actually even less climate stability over the course of the Permian extinction. It's just like everything that could have gone wrong did as a result of the Siberian traps blowing up, and it's kind of insane if you actually look at the specifics of it. It's genuinely ridiculous. On this website, the northern and southern island existed for longer. Go to 150 million years ago. I will pull it up for stream. Once again, we're going back to Rangelia. I just kind of wanted to give you guys context on what kind of power an LIP could have. Okay, yeah, there you go. So this is what he's talking about. Here, hold up. Properties, browse. Okay. Oh, right, it's turned at 90 degrees. 1 second. Transition. There you go. So you can kind of see the northern and southern islands of the proposed Rangelia that would have formed as a result of something on the level of the Permian extinction, effectively, when it comes to volcanism at least. It just that it was underwater, so it didn't have as many effects, since underwater volcanic eruptions usually happen differently than they do on land for a bunch of mineral reasons, surrounding like how explosive it can be, the fact that it's going into water, not into air, depending on like pressure and compression. Like there's just a ton of stuff that can go into it. But yeah, regardless, island chain that is very big, also next to the United States, and probably supported a significant amount of life that we will never know about. Very cool stuff. I wonder how much of this contributed to California, because like this kind of accretion happened, is like the entire reason why California exists to begin with. So yeah, no, for sure, it definitely would have had its own local extinction events, in the same way that like a drought in 1998 ended up being a local extinction event for the Galapagos Island. Like when you're on a smaller scale like that, there's ways in which you can have localized extinction events that are very contained to a certain environment, and that usually happens in separated island environments, like the proposed Rangelia we're talking about right now. Favorite prehistoric theory? It's a pretty good one. I'm trying to think about what might be my favorite. I would say it's the MSC, but that's not as much of a theory as something we just know happened at this point. The Messinian Salinity Crisis, MSC, was essentially a period of time where, due to a couple of reasons, but mostly the uplift of the Atlas Mountains in northern Africa around, not even that long ago, like maybe 9 to 15 million years ago. It's been a while since I've checked it out. The Strait of Gibraltar closed due to that tectonic uplift, and the entire Mediterranean Sea just dried out. And because of that, you had a lot of examples of Foster's rule, like we're kind of talking about with Rangelia, where you just have a bunch of really big animals just walk across the bottom of the Mediterranean Ocean, travel between Europe and Africa. But also, once the Zanclean flood happened, which is when the Strait of Gibraltar reopened, and over the span of like 10,000 years, the entire Mediterranean Sea filled back up. All those big animals got stuck on these tiny islands, and they had to like downsize or die. Or in the case of the smaller animals that got stuck there, they're like, wow, suddenly we're on an island with no predators and we can get big and do whatever we want. So you get stuff like Neurolagus rex, you get stuff like the Cypress dwarf elephant. There's a bunch of really, really random and cool stuff that ends up happening when you apply islands to evolution. So MSC is pretty cool. So many species that were lost to time, sadly, that we'll never discover. Yeah, but it's still such a miracle that we are able to find the things that we do, and it's such a beautiful thing that we can still learn about those things anyways. Like, I don't know. I like to be a little bit more glass half full about these things, but I don't know. It's sad that we won't be able to know everything or see everything unless we had a time machine, but it's such a gift that we can see anything at all, I guess, is my take. I don't know. Paleontology is very cool. It's very cool kind of getting a reference frame on the, I guess, fragility of our world, but the things that it's been able to do and create over the course of its 4.5 billion year lifespan. Hudsonia and northern Appalachia. Probably more island chains. I'm guessing elevated. Wait, isn't Northern Appalachia just Isn't that just Laurentia? Or it's not Laurentia. It's this is Western Interior Seaway stuff, right? Am I dumb? Do I know what I'm talking about? This is Cretaceous, right? The Appalachian Mountains have had so many different uplift events that it could have been anything from like 3 billion years ago to now. Yeah, but we know nothing of it. Yeah, we don't have that many good records of it. They're like what? We have like a little bit of Acrocanthosaurus or something, and that's like it, I think. There's just like we have way more good data from Laurentia, which is the other side of the Western Interior Seaway. Actually, Western Interior Seaway, more words that people won't understand. Let me explain this really quickly. I'm going to actually expand this map because it's not awful for explaining this. Okay, do you see Texas on this map? Okay, do you see that little river at the very top of your screen, or not that little lake at the very top of your screen, um, kind of by Alaska? Put an ocean up against the Rocky Mountains, off to the right to the Appalachians, and into the Hudson Bay and that little lake for like all of the Cretaceous period. uh, that is something that happened. This is why the Great Plains are full of limestone. This is why you can walk up to churches in the Great Plains in modern day America, look at the stonework, and just be able to pick out ammonite fossils from it. Because it just was a shallow sea for like a solid 40 million years at least. But it also meant that the United States, not the United States continent, what am I on about? The North American continent was split in half for an extremely, extremely, extremely long time. That caused a significant amount of ecological divergence between the left and right sides of it. The problem is there aren't that many great deposits that survive for that time period on the eastern side of the United States, so we just don't know what was going on over there. And then by the time in which like the seaway closed, most of the species that we've been able to find so far are stuff that we recognize from Laurentia, which would be the western half that has like the Rocky Mountains, California, etc. Sent North America during the Maastrichtian. One sec. No offense, I'm not downloading this again. I would. It's another one of those really, 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 really high quality maps. Oh, not Laurentia, Laramidia. I know what I'm talking about. Laramidia is the western half of the United States. But it's another super, super high quality map of North America during the time period I'm talking about, specifically as the Western Interior Seaway is closing. But yeah, very cool stuff. Very, very, very cool stuff. It's less quality? Oh. Save image. Posting. One moment. We're doing this. We're gonna get to talk about cool things. Go, go, go. Oh wait, that's not it. Hold on. Downloads. Image. Open. Okay. Let me make this like visible. There. So you have Laramidia on the left side, Appalachia on the right side. Hudsonia would technically be its own thing. If you kind of cut a line horizontally between that little outcrop of the miniature sea here, all the way off to Greenland, that's kind of where the Western Interior Seaway used to go. The rest of this, essentially picture this, but it was like 5 times wider and would go through that gap at the top between Hudsonia and Laramidia. It would go off to the right between Appalachia and Hudsonia, as I just described, and it would open up to the Gulf of Mexico a lot more. High quality of it costs something, that's fair. Basically know nothing of Hudsonia or Northern Appalachia. Yeah, just because we just don't have good fossil. We just don't have good known fossil beds from that time period. It happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens. But it's also really interesting trying to think and piece together what might have been over there. So, there's always like these somewhat dead ends that you can kind of just let your imagination run with it when it comes to paleontology. Just because we know we can't know everything, but it's still interesting to think about what might have been there. This is why spec bio is really fun. or speculative biology, where you just kind of invent your own ecosystems, build from the ground up or whatever. It's very, very cool stuff. Yeah, exactly. I think we do have a couple of Greenland dinosaurs. I don't think that's like completely out of the question. And then even then, like we have stuff like Cryolophosaurus. I just think that doesn't date to this time period specifically is the big deal, right? Um, but yeah, no, it's really interesting kind of thinking about like what these colder temperature dinosaurs might have looked like. Because like in Laramidia, we have stuff like Eutyrannus when you go up towards like Alaska, Yukon, stuff like that. But we just don't have any data for that on the other side of the North American continent for this Maastrichtian period. Did that for Regelio T-Rex sized Pseudotsuchians that survived until like 170 million years ago. Dude, I love Pseudotsuchians. They're so weird. Pretty much, Pseudotsuchians mean uh, effective. Well, not like effective, but like they're effectively uh, crocodiles. So Pseudotsuchians are like weird crocodiles. Um, During the Triassic period, dinosaurs first appeared, but they didn't really dominate the land yet. So you had stuff like Rowisuchians, which are kind of Pseudotsuchian. You get stuff like Caprosuchus, Postosuchus, stuff you might have heard of by playing some like Jurassic World games or something like that. And they ended up being the more dominant force of reptilian life on land until the end of the Triassic, in which another extinction event happened and paved the way for the dinosaurs. So it's really interesting about thinking about like which ones of those might have survived into the Jurassic and might have done okay for themselves and whatnot, and kind of postulating a hidden world like that. You want to check in on paleontology news and stuff? I can invite you to some servers. Sure. Honestly, I'd be game. I'm not as tapped in. I might not be very active, but I'd be game to at least like check in every once in a while, see what's going on. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. All right, I'm going to hide that now. A lot of geology yapping. I'm not gonna complain though. It's fun. Same, I just use the paleontology news channel on PaleoStream anyways. You know, that's fair. For a while, I tried to like get into Benji Thomas on YouTube to try and keep up with my paleontology news, but it's just like kind of hard to, I guess, keep myself up to date all the time about things. It's pretty cool. Alrighty, I'll check it out then. Alrighty, well, with that, I've been streaming for like just almost 2 hours and 45 minutes, which honestly is pretty short for me, but I do have a decent amount of stuff I need to get done tonight class-wise and for this weekend, since I'm going to be really busy this weekend. So I think I might call it here. I will be back next week because I want to be, and now that I've proven that I can like draw again, I think it's very reasonable for me to say that. But yeah, no. Thank you, Lucas, for showing up. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. This has been super, super interesting. I haven't had this in depth of a paleo conversation in probably like a year, since I was talking to some of the graduate students at my school. But I think I'm gonna call it. So I'll probably be back, I don't know, Wednesday or Friday next week. I'll probably be live again. I'll let you know. I'll ping people in the server. Lucas, if you'd like to give yourself the streaming enjoyer role on my server, it will ping you whenever I go live. Up to you, no pressure. But yeah, everybody have a great night, have a great weekend. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me for drawing Castform Sandstorm form. I'm very happy to be back. I hope to keep it up, and I will see you guys later. Oh my god, I need to do my plugs. Right, if you want to just see these things, see these Pokemon posted outside of stream, I always end up posting them on my Instagram and Tumblr, which you can find through my stream, or here by saying at Carbos Region on Tumblr, at VoltaicLint278 on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, or just VoltaicLint, I forget. If you want to just see what random bullshit I'm up to when it comes to Tumblr, I also have a regular account, deoxyribovoltaic acid, that's attached to it, but that's not that big of a deal. If you ever want to catch me streaming, you can always see me live here on the Voltaic Glint Twitch stream. If you want to be able to catch up on the VODs, you can always see me on @VoltaicGlint on YouTube or @VoltaicGlint278 on YouTube. Where as of right now I just post VODs, but if I end up actually getting more progress into this project, I might actually make a full-blown video about the process at some point. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.